guys, welcome back to my channel. It has been a while since I have posted. Sorry to go MIA on you guys like that. We had a really busy past couple of weeks, and just last week my husband got the flu, so I was really busy like helping take care of him, having to take care of the baby, and then she's teething really bad, so she got a fever from that and an earache. And then right after all that happened, then I caught what my husband had, so I ended up getting really sick too. So it has just been a long couple of weeks, but I'm back. I'm still a little sniffly, so if you hear me throughout the video, sorry. The last time I did a video, I talked about the best and worst things about labor and delivery, and before that it was the best and worst things about pregnancy, or things I wish I knew about pregnancy. So to kind of follow along with that series, this is probably going to be my final part of that. So without further ado, this is the best and worst parts about being a parent. Excuse me. Gotta use reusable glasses, guys. Think of the turtles. Anyway, so the worst parts about being a parent, let's talk about the number one thing. Your sleep pattern and your sleep habits change 150%. You do not get to sleep anywhere near as much as you used to, even if your wife is breastfeeding and you're not the one, feeding the baby at night. Then, you're still waking up because you hear the baby. Your wife is probably gonna need help. Your wife is probably gonna wake you up. For me, I didn't breastfeed, so my husband and I took turns when it came to feeding the baby, and thankfully for him, his job gave him 3 months paid to be home with me, which was really, really wonderful. Unfortunately, not a lot of people get that opportunity to be home with their spouse, or moms don't even really get a long time to be home. I know moms who came back after 2 weeks, which is crap, especially if they got like a C-section. Even if not, it took me like a month to fully recover. In the beginning, you're sleep deprived because of the fact that you are, feeding the baby every 2 hours. Sometimes you have babies who, are waking up, every half hour. Thankfully, my daughter was really good when it came to sleeping. I was really, really fortunate in that area because I know plenty of people who babies woke up every single hour up until they were like a year old. That's one of the main things, is you are grumpy because you don't have sleep, you are running on, minimal fuels, so it gets difficult. So the next thing is, I'm a stay-at-home mom, and for me, one of the hardships of that is that my entire day revolves around my baby. So I'm constantly with her. I am constantly trying to clean while holding her. I'm around her 24 hours a day. So sometimes, you need that little bit of a break. But for working moms, I give you guys a lot of credit, because I could not imagine, especially being at like a really hectic job, doing that and then coming straight home and then having a baby. That I can only imagine being really, really hard. Sorry, I'm kind of congested, and I think you guys can hear that. You get like zero peace. You get zero time to yourself. I'm really fortunate that my husband is really good, that there are days where he comes home from work and I'm like, I need you to take her for like an hour, and I'll just go and just take a nap, or even like half an hour, because sometimes just those like 15-20 minutes is just real nice. I think that's something we need to remember as couples too. If you are married, or you're a couple with a baby, is to give each other shifts. Sometimes it's nice because it keeps you sane. My husband will sometimes, just give me an hour and I want to play my game, and that's totally cool with me. Sometimes I'm like, I need to just take a shower without anybody talking to me, and he's totally cool. He'll let me nap for like an hour, totally handle the baby. On his days off, he'll get up with her in the morning so I can sleep in. So it's really, really wonderful. I'm really grateful that my husband is a very big hands-on father. But that can be really hard when you don't have that, especially if you are a single mom, especially when you're a stay-at-home mom. It's a constant 24-hour thing. So just remember, guys, give yourself time. You can only be a good parent if you are at the best standard of yourself. Do not forget to take care of yourself, whether that means taking a 5-minute walk by yourself, with somebody watching the baby, taking a bath, taking a nap, once you put your baby down to sleep. I know it is so hard to want to take a nap when you have dishes. Like, I have dishes I gotta do right now once I'm done with this video. It's hard to do that when you have dishes, when you have laundry, when you have stuff you have to take care of. But sometimes you need to, as soon as you put that baby down, crash for 20 minutes and just let yourself recuperate for a little bit. Let yourself veg for 10 minutes and just scroll through Instagram, go into the bathroom, and just take a quick shower, do what you gotta do. Sometimes you need that time just to really, because it's very easy to fully take up your life, which is my next point. Your life is literally going to revolve around that baby. And if you are used to being kind of a selfish person, which we all are in our 20s, I don't care who you are. When my husband and I first got married, oh, it was all about us. I loved sleeping in. I still love sleeping in. I love sleeping in, you know, I liked vegging out. I loved my lazy time. I liked getting to just sit around, do my makeup, and getting to just do whatever I wanted without really having to do anything. And my husband and I are both pretty independent people, so neither one of us are very like needy with each other. So we allowed each other our space. And when you have a baby, your entire life becomes about that person, which is kind of a good and bad thing. I'll get into that why it's a good thing in a little bit. But it's a very hard adjustment. You know, especially if you weren't planning on having a baby, that quick, mental adjustment, especially for moms, because dads, you have the entire pregnancy to like get yourself mentally ready for having that baby. Moms, the second we find out we're pregnant, our entire lives change. You know, we don't get to drink, we don't get to eat what we want to have, you know, we don't get to sleep the way we want to sleep. You know, our entire life, everything we do will affect the baby, so our entire life changes within a split second. And it's a really hard mental adjustment to make. You learn. It's a pretty big learning curve, and you learn very quickly. And it's funny because as hard as it is, it's so funny because when you look back on it, you're like, I can't even remember what my life was like before having to do this in a good way. Like, the things that mattered so much to me just are nothing now. So the next point is, when you are a parent, everything will take you 10 times longer to do. Whether that is something like making dinner, or washing the dishes, or doing laundry, or, you know, even something like doing your hair or makeup or getting dressed in the morning, everything will take you 10 times longer, because in between you're getting up, you're getting the baby, you're, you know, changing them, you're feeding them, you're making sure they're okay, they start crying, you know, you're doing 10 things at once. So this makeup used to take me like half hour, 45 minutes to do. Now, while I'm trying to have I have to give myself like 2.5 hours to get myself ready wherever we go, because I know in between I am holding the baby, I'm feeding her, I am changing her. She, you know, gets needy sometimes, so I'm trying to hold her while kind of trying to do my makeup, and it never works out. Like I said before, you kind of lose that piece that you have. The last thing that's kind of really hard about it is it's terrifying to be a parent. And just thinking about it, I'm getting anxious. It's terrifying because there are so many things that unfortunately can go wrong in a pregnancy, in parenthood, in a marriage after you have a baby. As a parent, really, your entire thought process becomes around about that baby, and all you want to do is make sure that they're taken care of, that they're safe, that no one is ever going to hurt them, that, you know, everything is okay with them. That it's so easy to think about everything that can go wrong with your baby. For me, I already have really bad clinical anxiety, and I already deal with depression, and then I also got postpartum depression after I had the baby. So for me, everything was like a threat, and everything to me was like, this is going to hurt her, or what happens if? And it's crazy because your entire life becomes altered around, okay, what happens if this happens to her? The simple stuff, like I love going on roller coasters. But even now, once I had the baby, the first thought I had when I got onto a roller coaster after having her was, oh my God, what if something happens on this ride and I leave her alone? You know, that's my first thought. Not, oh, I'm so excited to try this roller coaster. It's, what happens if something happens to me? And all you want is to take care of this little person. There's a lot of times that are so out of your control that you don't even know how to cope with it sometimes. And I think sometimes this affects moms more than dads, because, you know, we deal with the postpartum depression and stuff. But I know dads deal with this too. My husband is so protective of my daughter, so that's the first thought he has when we leave her anywhere. Like when, you know, he goes to work, or when we have to go somewhere for a family event, or when we have to go somewhere that we can't bring her, unfortunately. That's the first thought we both have is, okay, what if something happens? I know I've given you a lot of bad scenarios. But there are so many good things about being a parent that you can't even put into words. Your entire perception changes about life in the absolute best way too. you think about everything in such a motivating and inspirational way. Something as simple as like, I need to be better to be better for them. You know, whether that's health, whether that's mental health, whether that's, you know, making sure that you're being more responsible, whether that's, you know, I need to be more on time for things. All things that I've had to work on. I am, you know, disorganized. I, you know, need to make sure I'm taking care of my health. I need to make sure mentally I'm taking care of myself. I am so bad at being on time for things. And that's all things that you think about when you have a baby, you know, making sure that your house is clean, because once they start moving, then it's like the smallest thing. Like, there's a little piece of a paper towel right here on my floor that I need to grab. And your thought is, oh my God, what if they start crawling? And she picks it up and she tries to eat it. Back to the terrifying. You grow up so much in such a good way that you become a person, you become the best version of yourself that you never thought you could be. My daughter and, you know, my husband have both pushed me to be a person that I never thought that I could. And they have really inspired me. My husband is so wonderful. My daughter has pushed me to be the best version of myself. And I'm still learning 100% because I have so much to work on. But another good thing about it, which it's a blessing in disguise, is you really learn who your friends are and who your family are. Your baby will take up so much of your time that, you know, you don't really get to make the time for your friends that you really want to. You know, especially when you're young. You know, I'm in my early 20s, so my life was all about my husband, all about my friends, all about my family. And then when you have the baby, your life becomes so about them that it's like, oh yeah, sorry, we have to leave where we're going early, or we can't come after all, or sorry, we're not gonna make it, she's not feeling good, or hey, can I reschedule with you? You learn to make that about them. And there are gonna be some friends that really, really stick with you and really love your baby as if they were their own, you know, their own family. You really learn the people who kind of only want you around for what you can offer. It teaches you so much about the people you're around. You learn so quickly about the person you are married to. My husband, who I already looked at like, you know, on a pedestal because he's fantastic, that's why I married him. Seeing him with our daughter has just been, it made me fall in love with him all over again. He's so wonderful. He pushes me to be the best person. He absolutely pushes himself more than anybody. He doesn't expect me to do anything that he doesn't expect out of himself. He, you know, has this incredible work ethic that just went into overdrive when my baby, you know, when our baby came around. You learn so much about the people you're around. And maybe if you're watching this, I love you. And I am so grateful to have you by my side. Anyway, before we get emotional, because I don't like doing that, the final best part is you have this amazingly overwhelming feeling of just euphoric love. It is so indescribable how much you feel for these tiny little demons that inhabit your house. Because there are days where you look at them and you're like, oh my God, like you are this screeching banshee. And then they do these little things and it's like, okay, well, now I can't be mad. You have these moments where everything could be going wrong with your baby. You know, for example, my daughter is teething, so she's very moody and she won't sleep and she's very needy and, you know, she's pulling hair and everything. So she just was in a really, really bad mood and she was screaming and crying while I was just holding her, and I'm just thinking, oh my God, like, you need to go to sleep. What is wrong with you? And I'm just feeling so overwhelmed, and I get these moments of like, oh my gosh, this is the worst. And then she just lays her head on me and looks at me, and you just hear, Mama. And your entire heart just bursts. As Tina Belcher would say, your heart poops its pants. And you just love them so much. And it's incredible to watch them learn. Like, my daughter just learned how to clap, which in retrospect is such a weird thing to be excited about. But she just learned how to clap so she can clap, and she, you know, says mama and dada on command. She, you know, knows how to high five and wave hello and goodbye. And it's such little things, but then you see it and you're like, you're a genius. And it's so small, but you have this immense like pride from the smallest things. And I don't think there's anything that can compare to that, honestly. Thanks for sticking through this with me. I know this has been kind of a rambly video and probably gonna have to edit like half of this out. So hopefully this video is a little bit clearer than my last couple of videos. I finally got a new phone. Thank you, hallelujah. And I need to get up, I'm gonna be getting some new lights soon, so hopefully that works. And then I have the little pod thing, so hopefully my mic is working a little bit better, because before it was kind of But yeah, so that's kind of been it so far. I think next week I'm gonna do something involving makeup, because I don't know if you guys noticed this golden stuff going on. My husband surprised me with the Jaclyn Hill Vault palette, and it has been amazing. I'm using the Dark Magic palette, so I'm kind of obsessed with it. And these are from the, I think, Armed and Gorgeous. It's a gold. But I'm probably gonna do something with makeup next week. I think next week I'm gonna be doing a question and answer of some sort, and Ivy is probably gonna be around for this video too. Let me know in the comments any questions you want answered. Please let me know if there's any videos you are wanting, any topics you would like me to discuss. And like I said, please like and share this video. Please subscribe. It means the world to me when you guys do. And I will be linking my Instagram in the description below. And I will see you guys later. Bye guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe.